started, first off, we'd love to congratulate you, Rory. You earned your 19th PGA Tour title here at the Wells Fargo Championship. Obviously, a very special win for you. This is the site of your first PGA Tour win, and it's your third win at the Hall Club. So, just thoughts on the win today.
Yeah, this place has been good to me. Ever since I first set eyes on this golf course, I loved it from the first time I played it, and that love has sort of been reciprocated back. I've played so well here over the years. I think this is the first time I've ever won an event for the third time, so that's pretty cool to do it here. And just I did. Geez, I mean, there's been so many things that I'll get into it a little bit later, but I didn't even think I was going to tee off in this tournament on Wednesday night. And then, even if I had had a morning tee time on Thursday, I probably would have pulled out because I hurt my neck on Wednesday afternoon and couldn't make a backswing. So it just sort of everything aligned. I was off on Thursday afternoon. I got enough treatment so that I could play, and then progressively got a little bit better as the week went on. And it's just amazing how these little things, they all add up. And it's so cool to be able to win here again and see some of the hard work that I've put in over the past couple of months finally start to pay off.
And obviously, today's Mother's Day. We got to see you embrace with your wife and your daughter. Obviously, extremely special to have them here to see you re-enter the winner's circle.
Yeah, really cool. For it to be Erica's first Mother's Day and for her to be here with Poppy, really, really cool. It was hard for me not to think of that coming down the last few holes and how cool that would be to see them at the back of the 18th green. But I had more pressing issues at the time, so it was pretty easy to get it out of my head, but really cool for them to be here and to be able to celebrate today.
We'll open it up to questions. We'll start with Daniel Rappaport and Golf Digest.
Yeah, congratulations, Rory.
Thanks,
just
man.
wondering, you seem to be breathing pretty heavy there at the end, after all the time since your last win. I'm wondering, what was the level of nerve compared to the other 18?
It's hard to win. I got my nose ahead with the two birdies on 14 and 15. And then when I hit the tee shot on 16, I said to myself, 4 more good swings. That's all you need. You need good swing into this into 16. You need a good tee shot on 17 and 2 good swings into 18. I made 3 good swings and 1 not so good swing on the way in, but it's tough. I mean, it was windy. You're playing one of the toughest stretches that we play. Those closing 3 holes are pretty tough, especially with the crosswinds out there. So, I would have loved to have went bogey free today and won by 2 instead of 1. But it's tough to get over the line, especially if you haven't done it in a while. So I made it hard for myself, but hit a great third shot into the 18th there and was able to 2-putt and get the job done.
Global Golf Post.
Congrats again, Rory.
Thanks, Ron.
Is the feeling more satisfaction, relief, or somewhere in between, or just a combination of both?
I think a combination of both. Relief that I've won again. Relief that my season I feel is sort of back on track, and more just satisfaction at the journey that I'm on and the process that I've been going through to try to get back to this point. There's been a lot of hard work. I've put my head down. I haven't really looked too much in either direction. I've just tried to do what I need to do, and for a couple of months there, all that hard work seemed like it was not really getting anywhere, wasn't providing me with much. But then it's, as I said at the start, it's such a funny week, thinking that, knowing that my game was pretty good coming in here, and then have my neck completely lock up on me on the range on Wednesday afternoon, not even thinking I was going to play on Thursday. And then I'm sitting here on Sunday night with a trophy. It's it's been a bit of a funny week in a way, but just glad that I got through it and played some really good golf over the weekend.
Steve DiMaggio, USA Today.
Rory, what was the whoop reading on the 72nd hole, and can you talk us through a little bit about what you and Harry were going through and how bad that lie was?
Tell you right now. Yeah, pretty big. 17.7 today on the day stream, Steve. So heart rate was up there. Heart rate was probably in the 140s at some point. Yeah, it was a great day. Harry was awesome out there today, especially that decision on the last. I was ready to get in there and try to play that with a lob wedge, and he just sort of was like, "Whoa, let's take a step back. Let's think about this. Where's the best place you're hitting your third from?" So he sort of calmed me down and slowed me down a little bit and said, "Pal, let's just think about this a little bit." And ultimately, we made the right decision, and I dropped instead of trying to play that shot out of the hazard, and had a great third shot onto the green and was able to 2-putt from there. So, but I think this is Harry and I's 6th win together, and it's probably been our best one. Bay Hill back in 2018 was great because I hadn't won in a while, but this is even better just because Harry's been there every step of the way. The sort of the tough parts that I've sort of had to endure over the last few months. He's been with me every step of the way, and it's nice to come through all that with him and to get into the winner's circle again.
Thank you, sir.
Rex Toggart, golfchannel.com.
Congratulations, Rory.
Thanks, Rex.
Can you give me an idea coming up 18? Did it feel normal? And I just don't mean the crowds, although I am talking about the crowd, but between the crowds and also you being in contention on this particular golf course.
I think when you haven't been in contention for a while, it never feels normal. I mean, I certainly felt it there on the back 9. There were some tee shots and some shots I just had to stand up and really commit to what I was doing, and that's sort of been my mantra is try to just hit good golf shots until I run out of holes, and that's basically what I tried to do the entire day. Just hit good shot after good shot until you get to the end, and but it felt. I mean, I'm certainly glad that the crowds were back, and I'm glad that I was able to get the job done in an atmosphere like that today. And I'm excited going forward now that we get to play in front of crowds like that, and it was just an awesome experience to feel that again over the weekend.
Thank you.
Rory McIlroy, Daily Telegraph.
Congratulations on a great win.
Thanks, Bernie.
So when you talk about every victory is important, but with the PGA Championship coming up as your next tournament where you won in 2000.
I didn't get the last part of that, Bernie, but this victory is very important going into Kiawah in a couple of weeks' time. Obviously, I played really well there last time. I'm honestly not sure whether they've made any changes to the golf course since, but I'll go up there and try to do my homework and refamiliarize myself with the layout a little bit. But yeah, it's certainly great timing. This is obviously a huge confidence boost going in there, knowing that my game is closer than it has been. So it's still I'll be able to poke holes in everything that I did today. It's certainly far from perfect, but this win is validation that I'm on the right track.
Yeah, well done again.
Thank you.
Cheers, Ross.
Dylan Deethier, golf.com.
Hey Rory, you said right after your win that it feels like a long time since you last won. I'm wondering what maybe the toughest part of that or the most frustrating bit of that stretch was.
I don't know. I mean, there was even before the pandemic hit, there was a stretch there where I was I was playing really well, getting myself into contention and not getting the job done. And now that I think back on it, and I think back of and I think about the sort of particular road that I'm on now, I sort of realize why I wasn't getting the job done and why things were maybe falling apart on me on last days. I didn't really have a consistent move or consistent thought process to fall back on, maybe. So that was frustrating. Even though it was really good runs of golf, I wasn't being able. I think it's funny. I came in here with zero form, and I get myself into contention, and I play great whenever the pressure's on. And I think back to the start of 2020 when, I'd play great when the pressure was off, and then I'd play not so good on a Sunday, even though I felt like I was playing better, and the results would suggest that. I'm more excited about this because this is the first real test that I've had since working with Pete and sort of doing some different stuff, and for it to pretty much hold together all afternoon, first time of asking, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, on the spectrum of like technical versus mental, does this then fall a little more towards the technical side of things?
Yes, but there's only, if you don't feel like you can hit a fairway, it's okay telling yourself mentally be strong and mentally play with freedom, but if you can't make a swing to hit a fairway, it's very, so you need to get the technical part right, and then you can dial in the mental, and that's sort of the process that I've been on. I've spent some time with Bob Rutello over the last couple of months, but Pete Cowan would always say, he was saying, if I don't do my job right, Bob can't do his right. So it's Pete has to do his right, and then Bob can take it from there.
Congrats, Roy.
Thank you.
We'll move on to Ian Carter, BBC.
Hi Rory, many congratulations. How much credit do you give to Pete and the move to sort of bring him into your team for this win?
Yeah, he deserves a good bit of credit for it, for sure. I want to, obviously Michael Bannon is the one that's gotten me all the way to this point, so I'm never going to mention Pete without Michael, because Michael deserves a lot of credit too. But the work that Pete and I have done over the last few weeks, again, going back to the last question, today under pressure, I had a couple of things to fall back on, which was really important, especially under pressure, needing to hit good shots down the stretch. I had a couple of very playable swing thoughts that I've had all week, and Pete and I did some good work last week in Florida, and I felt good about my game coming in here. But I didn't know that. Obviously I wasn't expecting to come in and win first week straight out again. But it's satisfying to see the work is paying off. But it's just the start. There's so much more I want to achieve and so much more I want to do in the game, and but this is, as I said, it's nice validation that I'm on the right track.
And just to follow up, does this feel, in a sense, like a moment of lift off? We know how a win can really propel you. That's happened in your career in the past.
Yeah, I hope so. Hopefully history repeats itself, and I can get a lot of confidence from this and go forward. But I'm just happy that I can, that I can hit the golf shots that I need to under pressure. But it's all just getting yourself under. You just need to get yourself in the position to put yourself under pressure to hit the shots that really matter. And I did that today. I hit. When I got myself in the lead, 2 great shots into 16, a good tee shot into 17. Tee shot in the last wasn't the best, but was able to pull it together and get the job done.
Well done. Thanks again, Rory.
Cheers. Thank you.
Doug Ferguson, Associated Press.
Rory, what exactly happened
happened to the neck? What caused it to lock up, and has that ever happened to you before?
I have no idea. I think it's no coincidence that I turned 32 the day before, Doug. So I'm getting old. I hit a shot. I'd done a really good practice session on the range. I hit a 3-iron, flushed it, and I turned back to talk to Harry. And as I turned, my left side of my neck just completely locked up, and I couldn't move it. It was really, really strange. So I stopped what I was doing. I went and got some treatment. I iced it all of Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night. I woke up Thursday, didn't have much movement in it, was trying to make a backswing and could only maybe take it half the way back before it started to catch. And as I said, if I had been playing Thursday morning, I probably would have pulled out. But I had enough time to get treatment Thursday morning, get it freed up, get it loosened up, and it was still bothering me on Thursday afternoon. People probably saw the tape that was on my neck, but it sort of loosened up as the week went on. But again, just all these tiny little things that you need to go right to win golf tournaments, and thankfully I had an afternoon tee time on Thursday that allowed me to at least tee it up.
Great. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Another question from Steve Maglio.
Rory, just real quickly, I'm just wondering, what was the best shot you hit today, and what was the most important shot you hit today?
Best shot I hit today was the 7-iron into 17. Just a really solid golf shot. And the most important shot was the third shot into 18, I would think. But the best shot today, that tee shot into 17, it was exactly what I saw in my mind before I hit it, and executed it exactly the way I wanted to.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Another from Doug Ferguson.
Roy, just wanted to double back on one thing, since you've had an entire career of having these little mini slumps or mini droughts. How quickly can you snap out of it? How often can it happen where someone's in the doldrums and then all of a sudden boom, they're in?
Yeah, I mean, it's happened to me. You saw how I was. I mean, I was just excited to be here for the weekend. When I shot a good round on Friday, I hadn't sniffed a weekend of a golf tournament for a couple of months. So, I mean, I guess it can turn around quickly, but there's a lot of work that has to go in between to get to that point. So even though, my last couple of starts were missed cuts or, didn't make the weekend, the next start I win, but there was 3 weeks where, I worked pretty hard and obviously worked on the right things to get myself back where I need to be.
Did that happen in some of the previous little droughts? Things like that?
Yeah, sometimes it's taken a little bit longer, but I think once you see progress and you get that little spark of confidence, then things can start to move pretty quickly.
All right. Thank you. See you in a few weeks.
Yeah, see you.
Thanks for joining us, Rory. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.